My name is Joe Wilkins. I happen to be one of our senior judges. We are excited and delighted to be able to have you in front of us again today. Today, we're going to cover two different presentations. The first one will be a 10-minute presentation, and the second will be a 90-second presentation. I'm going to just review the instructions or what we're expecting in the 10-minute presentation. We'll have you go through that presentation, then we'll pause for a bit, and then we'll go into the 90-second presentation. So let me start with, again, just the narrative around what we're looking forward to in the 10-minute presentation. So again, congratulations, you've been called back after your full presentation, I believe yesterday, for a second visit. And now you've only been asked to speak only about the ethical aspects of the problem and to explain why your solution successfully handles the ethical issues. You will have exactly 10 minutes. There will be no questions and answer session, no Q&A in this session. And you may not use slides or video. And we recommend probably not having more than 2 or 3 members of your team present. And so with that, I'll just look at my clock here. We have just 1 minute after 11. And if there are any questions, and if not, then are we ready to start? Then we will hit start. And let's start. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Corporate Board. We are the Tangara Consulting Group. Thank you for having us back to further discuss how our recommendations represent a true commitment in ethical terms, which we know are very important for you for your entry to Colombia in a sustainable way. First of all, we have to consider this. 864 hectares of only one of the nationally protected areas were lost just last year in Colombia. Several species, including the cottonhead titi monkey and the Tangara and the colorful Tangara, have had a dramatic decrease in their population due to the loss of their habitat. Additionally to this, 1,832 indigenous people from more than 5 different ethnicities have perceived damage to their environment. This in just one municipality, which is Solano, Caquetá. As we mentioned in our previous meeting, we are aware of certain issues that are worrying us because of how they could represent some inconsistencies or incoherent decisions with your mission and your vision. So in this point, we think it's very important to bring some things that you state in your key values, such as the fact that you believe that every individual has something valuable to offer, and you strive to have the same values and work with these values. Additionally, you're also eager to create a better and everyday life for many people.
However, we have been careful in this entry to avoid some mistakes that have been made in the past regarding your corporate image as ethical issue like selling illegal wood or investing in lobby that can create a sense of hypocrisy on your behalf. We don't want to repeat June 2020 when it was reported by non-profit organization Earthside that you were selling products made from wood illegally felled from riparian forests, which is the home of endangered lynx and bears. Also, we believe that the allocation of resources far from lobby interests you once held has to be evaluated. Now, thinking on the entry of a country like Colombia brings up questions. We want to bring back our concerns. First, maintaining traditional views of growth represented by the franchise model means you could be incurring in the problem of ignoring the true Colombian social and environmental situation because there will be no guarantee that the franchisee will hold the same core values that your company has. In ethical terms, it's called chosen blindness, or the principal agent problem, which occurs when a difference in priorities make each agent follow only what they choose to see.
Next, considering the new strategic approach you could have in Colombia, where the brand could be perceived as aspirational and cool instead of being just the low-cost brand, means that you could be able to target a segment of the market willing to pay more for your products. And maybe taking advantage of this is betraying the founding principle of your brand, which is making furniture available to everybody. As we mentioned before, Colombia is a country where many people, kids and families, cannot access proper furniture for their daily activities. And so this creates a tension on what we believe as IKEA and what we are doing. However, we can encourage you to follow this business opportunity just as long as you are aware of the responsibility that you have on using more resources to protect or invest in the population's interests, such as, for example, environmental protection. So that takes us to another issue, but it's probably the most important one to keep in mind, which is that we would like to convince you that a different approach in the entry to Colombia means that you can be a more active and relevant actor in the fight against deforestation and how this deforestation affects native communities in areas harmed by the armed conflict, by poverty, by the lack of welfareism, by ecosystem and biodiversity loss. And you could be an agent to protect and empower their cultural imaginaries. So also considering how the government intends to protect these areas, making it hard to maybe acquire land for productivity or even the implementation of forestry projects, we're going to present these strategies that could be taken into action so that we find ways to create a win-win opportunity or many win-win opportunities for the company, for the government, and of course for the people. And after we discuss these three main challenges, we are going to tell you how our recommendations can contribute to aligning your vision and corporate objectives, since our mission as consultants is to help you transition towards the circular economy.
Okay, so this is why we're proposing to you a greenfield entry that will create job opportunities in rural areas. Also, this will make you a direct actor that will help reforestation with native and in risk of extinction species, so that they are introduced into your productivity cycles, taking into account the responsible planning of distribution and organization, so that the possible concern that may arise of the monocrops is contained. Finally, this will also allow you to take advantage of other resources that we have in Colombia, such as the organic cotton that is grown in this country. Having said this, it's also very important that you take into account a monitoring practice of the forest that you're using. This so you can make the most out of all the different kinds of forests that you have available. Additionally, acknowledging the difference between old growth forest and new growth forest, taking into account the fact that some characteristics like age difference, light, and spatial location might affect the main purpose or even the results of the crops that you're working with. Therefore, our specific suggestions of first, an alliance with Fede Manera, second, the commitment to certify your products with eco-labels, and third, taking action according to the Works for Taxes initiative can help mobilize the whole industry through example and collaboration between big and small companies. And therefore, you'll craft an industrial symbiosis, which is a very important element in a circular business model. Also, here it's very important to know that this for you will represent competitive advantage and will guarantee to be more appealing to the customer, since we notice that there has been a shift of consumer interest towards more sustainable products and more sustainable lifestyles. Finally, you will also be proving commitment towards equality and protection of communities, while at the same time receiving the benefit of saving taxes.
Let's now imagine a hypothetical scenario where you don't take our proposal. It will be holding your established ways of doing things, and certainly you will be still receiving profits. You will be still leading the global market. You will be still recognized as one of the biggest companies. People are going to keep buying your products. The expansion in South America will work, and you will with success in many markets. Yet, what's the point on sustaining the same approach if you're not truly leaving your mark on social and environmental aspects in the inside of the company, the industry as an exemplary business, nor influencing the change in people by promoting responsible consumption? So, let yourself be that company setting the example for its competitors. And once again, trust you can be that tree that changes the world.
Now, before we leave, we want to thank you for listening again to us. We are really invested in the fact that you want to be a force for positive change, and taking into account that you have the possibility to make a significant and lasting impact, both today for the generations to come, is why we want to relate with you with our solutions. So we really hope that our proposed solutions can help you and can be a helping hand that allow you to achieve these objectives and positively impact many lives, not only in the country of Colombia, but all around the world. So thank you very much for listening to us.